Looking at Ghanaian content creation, comparing it to, other African countries, especially Nigeria, as we are saying, do you think we can match up to them anytime soon?
If we are to give ourselves a time frame, I don't know. I'm not sure. Ghanaians, we are not good at that. We give ourselves time frames and we don't even stick to it. We will lose focus along the line. But then,
also, we have content. Mm-hmm. Your content and your content. What's your content to be a Nigerian to me at the Babon team? Now, what is Ghana need content to be?
You see, I think we really have to give it up to our Nigerians for this particular one, content creation. I don't know how they were able to get that particular niche, but they've been able to do it so well.
Content creation in Ghana versus other African countries, how is it like?
Okay, so when we talk about other African countries, I know the main yardstick would be Nigeria because of, again, population-wise.
Yeah.
It's one thing we'll be looking at. Their population is one thing. And we'll be looking at how similar we are with them. So,
but don't underestimate the East Africans, though.
Oh, no, I'm not underestimating
we
it. But
have people
the
really
point is,
yes,
but the point is how many of their contents feeds into our part as compared to that side. So I'm talking about the ones that are visible to us. That's the only ones we'd use as an example.
Sure.
Now, just opposing both countries, Ghana and Nigeria, we've seen the Nigerians. I saw one creator I saw first was Sydney Talker. Yes.
And then Nasty Black.
Nasty was later on.
Yeah.
Sydney, I discovered him in my discovery. Yes, I'm Kofana, but don't take me out. But I discovered his content somewhere in 2017.
Yeah.
Where he was talking, there were a lot of funny things that they were doing, even when social media wasn't the ish back then.
I loved Sydney until the recent video he did about him trying to go to Chivido.
Okay, I haven't watched that video though.
Forcing himself over the whole thing. That was where I think.
Well, I haven't really seen. I've not been watching his content of late, so I can't say that. But comparing it now, the whole digital content creation is the new world. That's where the world is going. Even as I hear where we are sitting, what we are doing is we are creating digital content for social media. So in a point, we're also doing the digital work. But the world after post-COVID has evolved where we've seen population, a lot of people populating to that part. Because if you look at most countries, Ghana and both countries, financial issue and unemployment is the reason why a lot of people are doing content creation. Let nobody lie you. There are a lot of people who find themselves as content creators that if there was no social media, they might be working at the banking sector, or they might be looking for employment, or they might even be unemployed. But because of the space of social media, if you ordinarily used to do something that made your friends laugh, you are thinking about monetizing that particular thing. That's where people find themselves in skit making. What's the other name? Skit making, creating funny videos, and all those things are a point. They are all together to form a point of content creation. Some are doing interviews. You've seen the Kojo Sheldons. A lot of all those guys come through the social media space. So if you are comparing it, I feel the market has grown since post-COVID, since 2020. We've seen a lot of people enter that particular space and are selling it well. But if you are going to use the comparison of places like Nigeria, the population bound would come in, because even Lagos State alone is bigger than Ghana. And their industry is something that is open.
Population-wise or geographically? Because
geographically,
no.
No, Ghana is over 30-something million.
No, but geographically, like...
But if you look at the population of Lagos State alone...
Well, if it's about population, then fine.
Yeah, I said population-wise.
He mentioned
population-wise. So I was emphatic on population.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at that space, there are a lot of people who can find themselves in the creative space, and they have pop-up shows that are able to highlight these boys. Like there are reality shows and other things that help you discover new people, because it's not easy to climb that ladder. And even in Nigeria and those with there are classifications of the content creators. So there are the first tier, second tier, third tier people. It's not like they are all the same because there's no way you would compare a what's his name Chukuna's then content creation to what Sidney Tucker is doing or to what Nasty Black is doing.
I don't even know
the name myself right now.
I wasn't even know who's Chukuna because I'm so lost.
There's this guy. His name is Tofiakwa Cross or something. I wanted to remember the name, but there's no way you compare his numbers to Sabinus.
Yeah,
it would never work. So there are tiers to that. Now back to our country here. When you're talking about people also creating content, you know, Dr. Likey and his people have populated that market. People have got to understand what that market stands for, and a lot of people are doing it, and people are consuming it even more than they're not. I don't know a lot of people. I don't know, but a lot of people even watch skits or videos more than they watch TV. Because at the end of the day, when they come home, they will go to YouTube.
I don't remember
and
the last
watch.
time I watched TV.
Exactly. It's either they have smart TV, so they watch on TV, or they will just watch on their phone. So the content creation market has been big, and probably someone who is a good talker. They like to talk. They want to start podcasts, having conversation with people, sharing life experiences, and all of those things. So I believe the market is open now, and it has accommodated a lot of people. Like I first said, there are people who would have been unemployed that now, because of content creation, they find themselves doing things they love to do and have monetized what they are doing. So I feel the market is growing in our part of the world, and it's even growing. Just that one thing that we don't know is the people who give adverts, like the Google ads, YouTube, and the rest, they have a tier they give. I'll find a link and I'll send you. And you see, they have the tier countries and the amounts they make.
Yeah.
So if you are looking at finances or money wise, we are not making enough money like someone who would be in the States. And that's relative, because in our part of the country, how many times people run ads on those networks? Okay. How many big companies would want to run commercials that would help the advertisers to also give you the content creator money? Because in our part of the world, it's not like in the outside world where probably if Onekingmultimedia is a company in the US, they know if they want to run ads online, they are paying probably $10,000 or $50,000 to run that ad. But in our part of the country, they would want to go for a lighter budget. So it affects how those who consume it, the advertisers have to share. There's a form of they share an advertisement, and if you compare it to the advanced world, it's totally different.
All right, let me go to Chris Terrell. Chris, let's see the content creation when it comes to Ghanaians, our content creation. Let's compare them with, other African countries. Do you think we are on track?
Yes, I think we are. Of course, we have our challenges. You understand? We have our challenges, but the challenges we face here in Ghana is similar to what others face in the other countries in Africa. But you see, the Nigerians saw this early, and they started early. When the likes of Mark Angel comedy started, you understand, we Ghanaians had not really looked at that side. I don't know if we had Ghanaians.
Mark Angel started somewhere in 2015. Like the popularity when they even brought a girl to Ghana to come and be on Adum TV and the rest.
So at that time, we asked
people who were doing it in Ghana.
Yes, but how popular was our content? That's what I'm looking at.
I think that time Kweku Money was even creating content on Facebook.
Kweku Money.
Kweku
Menu. But yes. You see, so how popular was that? And you see, the Nigerians will always have their numbers beaten. They will beat us to the numbers.
Definitely.
So as I speak to you right now, if you check their YouTube channel, they have about 5 million subscribers and about 1 billion views. Mark Angel, you understand? And so the Nigerians, some way, somehow, even though, yes, at a point in time, they will come to Ghana and all of that, but you see them up there, Even now, they're just too funny thems. They are also in there. They are doing their bit. Their numbers are not that. Their numbers are not bad at all. They are doing well on Instagram and then even on YouTube. You understand? So, when it comes to these two countries, of course, there is always. Sometimes we say no, we are not going to compare, but there's always a room for us to do the comparison. There's always that room for us to compare, these two countries when it comes to even their food, food, music and everything. So the Nigerians, they are always going to beat us to the numbers. And I think that is one thing that is helping them so much when it comes to this. But Ghanaians are not doing bad. The likes of Sheldon's, the likes of Waris, the likes of, you mentioned...
SDK.
You mentioned... no.
I am mentioning
Dr. Likey and his people. And Dr. Likey alone, he has also... brought in a lot. So Ghanaians have now come to understand, the impact and what you can actually gain, the opportunities in that space, and then we are exploring. So I'm sure we'll also get there, but it's not bad,
But not to cut you short, one thing I have noticed that's helping these Nigerians is they have a plug there. Recently, I was watching a podcast where Waris was talking about when he first got his monetization on Facebook and all those things. He was having some little hiccups on the channel. And when he spoke to the guy who was doing it for him was a Nigerian, he said, I will go Facebook next week. I go tell them, then they go do them. So he knows he has access to go to Facebook and tell them, account A, B, and C has this challenge on their accounts. But we don't usually have these things. And one reason is we fail to train our people well. These secretariats, I always stamp on this, these secretariat scholarships that come that the ministers give it to their children to go and do social studies and the rest, they can pick people from the creative art space. I'm not saying all of them, but probably every year they pick 2 people from the creative art space. Take them to these places, the New York Film Academy, those in the IT field. Let them go and study a meta. The knowledge they get there, you bring them back here and they impact it. So at the end of the day, you have a direct link that's bridging the gap between you and they. But we don't have all those things. So we always lack. These Nigerians, when the movie industry became a movie industry, is some of the actresses and the rest, they go to New York Film Academy. They go and study. When they go there, they network with mates over there. They have classmates over there. So if I have shot a movie I've gone to New York Film Academy and I come back to Ghana and I have colleagues there who we actually even shot skits in school, we did this and that. I have a lot of knowledge from what they do over there, and I'm able to impact it here. So if probably I want to shoot a scene and I want to get a type of camera, I know I have a colleague over there who will recommend A, B, and C, who has worked and probably gone to Netflix directly, that would even help plug my movie on Netflix. But we don't get all those things because when the scholarship comes, they give it to a minister to go and study social studies.
Sociology.
You understand? But when all these things are supposed to be given to those in the creative art space to push it.
So, Nanama, I think we are not doing bad, even though someone will say we didn't see the light too early, but we are not doing bad at all. I think the numbers are growing and more people are getting and making money from that space.
Okay. Sika Woman, looking at Ghanaian content creation, comparing it to, other African countries, especially Nigeria, as we are saying, do you think we can match up to them anytime soon?
If we are to give ourselves a time frame, I don't know. I'm not sure. Ghanaians, we are not good at that. We give ourselves time frames and we not even stick to it. We will lose focus along the line. But then,
also, we have content. Your content and your content. What's your content to be a Nigerian to me at the Babon thing? Now, what the share Ghana need content to be
you see,
in that show.
I think we really have to give it up to our Nigerians for this particular one, content creation. I don't know how they were able to get that particular niche, but they've been able to do it so well. Sometimes it's just the little things in their content creations. It's the little things. You don't even see them coming. And it doesn't even last long. Some are a minute. You watch a video, a 1 minute video, and you find yourself watching it over and over and over again because of the quality of the content. I am not trying to say that the handful of content creators we have emerging from Ghana are not churning out quality works, but there's still some work to be done. Just as Sekwe said that we didn't see the light early, but there are still certain things that we have to learn. It is not just about a particular country doing it we're getting the numbers, the revenue is coming, so let me also do it. No, we have to actually learn in order for us to. That is why I always like it when I see that some of these content creators find themselves in Nigeria and they try and collaborate with the Nigerian content creators, or they come to Ghana and then they collaborate with them. And I know that they learn a thing or two, especially with SDK. I think Sabinus came to Ghana and had a skit, short a skit. We saw them moving, SDK and Sabinus, right? And for me, I've been really following SDK for a couple of years now. And then I can tell that he actually learned. Because right from there, well, SDK was becoming SDK. But I feel
SDK rose in 2016.
Yes.
When he did that Shatawale Wu video.
That one is also there. But, I also believe that after the encounter with Sabinus,
there had been some improvements.
Yes. He must have learned so many things from him as well, because these are people who are good, very good in what they are doing. And let's not also taking away the population, Nigeria having a bigger market and everything else. They also have measures put in place for them. The last time we were talking about the Creative Arts Fund and how one particular party is trying to. Nigeria actually has Nigeria Creative Industry Finance Initiative. And this particular initiative, it's launched by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So imagine how serious this thing is. They are so intentional about these things. The whole central bank.
At the Bank of Ghana.
Like you come to Ghana and it's the Bank of Ghana in collaboration with Bankers Committee. So with this one, is the Central Bank of Nigeria in collaboration with the Bankers Committee. They have set up this Nigeria Creative Industry Finance Initiative, where they are helping people in advertisement, music, film, fashion, content creation. So
the creative art space.
So
okay.
Just when you see something like this, why wouldn't they thrive? Why wouldn't they move forward? And then you come to Amorphia. You come to us. We are for how long now? How long did it even take us for us to separate creative art from sports? How long did it take us for us to take creative art out of the sports ministry? How long did it take us? It took us for so long. Meanwhile, we had
sports.
Yes, we had an industry that we saw that we can actually nurture and then grow it, but we decided to close our eyes and act blind. And then now these people are far gone. And they be Nigeria, and Nigeria phone support here, Nigeria is doing this, Nigeria is doing that. They are actually putting measures in place. So it is not just about us getting the talent. Yes, talent is the challenge. Nowadays, even if you are not born with it, you can get it. We're in a global village. You can always learn, just as some of us are trying to learn from others. These content creators, there's one particular one. There's a particular content creator in Nigeria that he's always trying to take his concept and then twist it, give it a Ghanaian touch, and then claim it. That one is another matter. My lawyer way to come. You get it. So it is not just about getting the people to bring the ideas or stand behind the camera or in front of the camera and do all sort of things. That we have to be intentional about it. This is something that the Nigerians realize. They realize that yes, we are a big country. Our leaders are trash, but when we depend on them 100%, they are not going to help us. But at least their leaders being trash, they've been able to put in some measures for them. Yes, they've been able to put in some systems for them to work. So at the end of the day, things are bad, but then you get it. Economy no more yet, but there's a part or a sector of the economy it is growing. At least when they bring out movies, they have places where exactly they don't have to wait till 6 months later. And son of Funke Akindele kada obe premiere a Tribe of Judah or Abeokuta. If it is on the 15th, the whole of Lagos is a cinema or Lagos and theaters in Lagos are premiere it on the 16th. If it's for a different date for a different state, the same thing. But look at us. How many cinemas can we actually boast of? The ones that we have, is it not privately owned?
Yeah.
Nanka privately no company, if the private sector is even trying to invest, and that brings me back to my next point. Investments. The corporate sector, the private sector in Nigeria, the average Nigerian is so business-minded. That is not to say that as Ghanaians, we are not business-minded. You're business-minded and business is in Nikrumhade.
Okay.
But then they understand. I think for them, for the Nigerians, they get it. I sit back and then I look at them. You analyze one or two things and then you realize that these people, they understand the game. They see the future.
Don't you think
that
there's been a cause for them to understand what they are investing by here?
So for us, we don't have a cause.
No, we don't have the private sector and the creative space. The gap is that wide.
It's very wide. I had to walk up.
It's really wide and they are supposed to actually bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Have seminars where they will get to let them understand that if you
seminar, you organize a seminar, who is going to come?
Listen, if you invest...
the people you're organizing the seminars for, they are not going to come.
Listen, if you let them understand that if I invest 10,000 cedis in Sabinu's, let me use Sika's content, Sika is going to make me $100,000 in 2 years. And these are the measures, these are the things that will lead to it. Every investor doesn't invest to lose. They invest to gain. So if between the private sector and the creative space, they understand that, okay, if I'm going to do the movie with one King Mineral Water, it means in the movie, I'll be showcasing a lot of one King Mineral Water merchandise in the movie. So, and if I'm showcasing, the movie is going to reach maybe 2 million eyeballs. So 2 million eyeballs are going to witness my product I am selling. Do you understand what I mean? Look at GMPC. If there is a movie and you're able to incorporate GMPC into your movie, like you make GMPC understand that, okay, when we do this movie, this is the benefit GMPC is going to get from the movie. I'm sure any serious entity would want to invest. But here's the situation where the creative art is playing Dondo somewhere else. And these people are also doing their thing. I don't know about the last time they did the opening of the place in Takoradi, the GMPC head office here in Takoradi. How many creatives were there? At least, even if you get there and you're able to network. Oh, yeah, premiere, and you say, Ejekoninam premiere, launching, no. Ejekoninam GMPC launching, I say, you do the boss there, and so Ejeko, that's actor, Ejeko, that's nice meeting you. Oh, what are you doing now? Oh, now we are shooting a new movie and I would want to come and show you blah, blah, blah. Oh, take my card. Take my card and we'll meet in office and we'll negotiate on how we can work on this. Then you get someone who knows how to do the right presentation. I mean, PowerPoint presentation, letting the people understand that this is it. Businesses don't read talents. They read spreadsheets. Okay. Businesses, they don't read creative. They read the spreadsheets. So make sure you are going to approach this agency. You have the figures that tells them that if they invest, even though investment is a gamble, they invest, they know that in 5 years' time, they are having an estimate of $10 million. $10 million estimate. And say, 2 million, they would invest.
Okay, they will invest. Now, let's go for a very short commercial break. When we are back, we're still on the big plate.
Mineral water, Shashamali says so.
Okay, so we are back, and now we're still on the big place. This is the One King Show. Now, before we go to the improvement, let me go to Chris on this one. Chris, let's talk a little bit about collaboration. Then we go to the how we are going to improve as content creators here in Ghana. Now, with the collaboration, we've seen some Nigerian content creators and Ghanaian content creators trying to create something, and then I say, Ankoye. We've seen something like or people like this aggressive guy, from
Cinnamon Leila.
Leila and Sabinos no black and Sabinos, and people were so disappointed, like so Sabinos and you've been making noise and all that. This is the only thing you could have done. Like how we've seen people like Isaac Aloma or something, Isaac Aloma, right?
Yeah.
And then some Ghanaian content creators, we've seen Fela McAfee, we've seen a whole lot. But as a Ghanaians were not pleased with what they brought out, Let's talk a little bit about that.
So let me begin with the Sabinos and Leila. I mean, if you want to compare the two, of course, you know that Sabinos is miles ahead of Leila. And so people felt that getting Leila getting Sabinos is a plus. I mean, it's a big one for him. And so people are expecting so much from him, to deliver. So it could blow him out of Ghana, and other places in Nigeria and elsewhere. You understand? So people were expecting so much from him. And what he did, Ghanaians obviously felt disappointed because they felt that it's just like a musician, a young up and coming musician recruiting a big artist or having the opportunity to work with a very big artist, and you are unable to deliver. If you're a rapper, people expect that you deliver punchlines, or you're a singer, you sing so well, and you are not able to deliver, so it could project you together with a big man in there, or you have recruited. People will certainly be disappointed in you. People will go like, so this is all you could do? So the same way. And so, and unfortunately for us here in Ghana, or should I say fortunately, our up and coming creators, they are able to attract these big names in the industry. But when they get them, the kind of skits, the kind of work that we expect them to put out there, we don't get them.
But why do we blame the Ghanaians alone? Because it's a joint something.
Yes, it's a joint something. I get you.
The most?
But then I feel like the script and the whole thing, the story, the concept is both of us.
So then if you feel that this concept is not going to, it doesn't fit, you are the one, and they were working here in Ghana. So you are the up and coming guy. If you feel uncomfortable, talk to the person. No, Charlie, you see, this could be my breakthrough. So let me just do it this way. Or maybe it is not their breakthrough. Maybe it's not even meant to work. It can happen. Because I remember when this artist from Kumasi, Jamal, Kofi Jamal, he did a song with Stone Boy. The song was not all over the place.
Yeah.
Now he came back to his hood and he did songs with Yao Tog Dems. And the song was everywhere. He blew him. You understand? So sometimes, even though we are working with a very big name in the industry, but it's not just meant to be.
That is fine.
Yes.
But do you think what they brought out was satisfying?
This is what we are talking about. If it was something that really worked, we wouldn't even.
But some people were also okay with it.
Yes, but if you have a good number of the people, if you have a good number of people not being okay with it, then certainly you haven't succeeded.
You've not succeeded.
Yes,
so
you have not succeeded.
Some collaborations needs a lot of works and all that.
Yes.
Okay.
If you are working in collaboration with another person, tell you need to bring your A game.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
If you're a rapper, you want to be on the same tune with Sarkodie, tell you need to bring on your A game. You understand? So it's the same. It's all creating something. If you're a rapper, you are a creator. You understand? If you're a skate maker, you're a creator. So once you are collaborating with a big person in there, bring in your A game.
Okay. Thank you. Sika, with the few minutes we have left, let's see how we can improve as content creators, because we are content creators. So share with us some things that we can do to improve ourselves.
Well, in my earlier submission, I made mention of the government support that's there. And, there's also the digital infrastructure. You see, recently, when the NDC had their youth, is it manifesto launch?
Youth manifesto launch.
And they opened the floor for questions. SDK was there, and he asked the to-be president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the measures he intends to put in place if he's elected president for data. I think is it data consumption or the prices of data, because as we all know, data is very
expensive. In Ghana.
And the packages are very small.
And there is one thing, whenever Nigerians come to Ghana, they are always saying good stuff about Ghana. Hey, Ghana, you remember Omotola came to Ghana, and right at the airport, she got him very impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure even afterwards, if her something got missing or something bad happened to her in Ghana, she would forget that because of that incident that happened at the airport where I think she left her phone somewhere and they brought it back and her other stuff. Yes. So they come to Ghana and they are so happy with us. Like, oh, Ghanaians are so accommodating. They are so happy. Like, Ghana is so cool. This, and that. There's one thing. If you sit down and listen to all of them that come to Ghana, there's one thing they always tell you. Data is expensive in Ghana. And it's not just Nigerians that say this. Almost every African that comes to Ghana, will tell you this, that data is expensive in Ghana. I mean, we all have friends and acquaintances from other countries that would come and then they will
and boyfriends.
I mean,
girlfriends.
Numbers don't lie. There's there are statistics to show this particular one. So I was very happy when SDK asked the flag bearer of the NDC that question. I wasn't satisfied with the answer he gave. I mean, he's a politician and he might not, I'll pardon him because maybe he might not be fully prepared for that. But then, again, if you are meeting the youth, you know that creative art is going to be one of the top topics that is going to emerge. And so you have to be prepared. But that's not the case. Data is so expensive in Ghana. That brings me to the digital infrastructure that I was talking about. Sure. Nigeria has better digital infrastructure. Willie is much more invested in digital marketing and all the terms and all the technicalities involved when it comes to the CPMs and all those things. You realize that Nigeria has some upper hand in there. When you are even creating
That was
content.
what initially I said when I first spoke. I said that because of how the market value is.
Exactly.
If you upload a Nigerian movie on YouTube, the demand is high. So the advertisers are also looking at, okay, your CPC is going to be high. So probably per click might be probably around $13 because that particular video is going to attract 1 million eyeballs. And so they know that's what gives them money.
Yeah.
Because the niche is an expensive niche.
Yes.
Okay.
So they know, okay, because ordinarily in Ghana, I know if it's just a normal video, you are around 0.2 cents.
Yes.
It's not up to $1.
Yeah.
But when the CPC is that high, you are looking at $13 or $20 per click. Now imagine $13 times 1 million views.
And even with this 1 million views that Willie is even mentioning, how many views, how many Ghanaians, how many Ghanaian content creators are able to
hit 1 million?
Hit even 500,000. You get it. It's difficult. And and there's this also mindset of the Ghanaian mindset where people also believe that Ghanaians don't like consuming content on the internet and stuff. That is also not true. I believe if we are actually bringing out quality stuff, producing quality content, the average Ghanaian will be interested in watching. But then average Ghanaian, why interested in watching? No, about data no dollar share.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the person is going to complain about data. Because even if you have something that maybe, recently there was a competition via my friend, we were trying to send the links to people like, hey, this is data no buy, so how do you want me to be always going there and then be liking and commenting and sharing and doing all those things? These are some of the things that we can actually improve ourselves. I mean, when it comes to our digital space, we really have to do so much more with ourselves.
Okay.
Talk to these content creators. They'll tell you that, okay, there are even some conversations that you have about a different jurisdiction where you get much more money than you do for Ghanaians. They will tell you this. And it's because I don't know how the Nigerians, because I'm not really abreast with that side. I don't know how the Nigerians are able to have such upper hand on that side.
But I initially said that again, that
as Ghanaians.
People who are sent to go and study don't go and stay there. They just don't go there to go and study in classroom. The environment you find yourself, you are studying with a lot of people. There's a mixture of culture. You are in the United States. You've met a classmate who is coming from Mexico, someone from India, someone from China. They are telling you how the tech world works over there. So you are knowing, now the world is moving to a point where content creation is a big thing. So let's move and do this. My own boss, Anakwesi Kumsin, went to the UK in 2017, no? 15, 16, I've forgotten. When he came back, he said whatever he saw, he had to write it down. When he came back, the first thing he spoke about was, let's start doing a podcast. And that was like probably 2015 there. In 2020, a podcast was like the biggest conversation in our country.
Yeah.
4 years later on. So what did he go and see over there? Do you understand what I mean? So our people who go there, they go and see things that if they come back and they have the right support, they can push it into our system. Because gradually, those over there, now we now know about content creation and the rest. Probably there's something new happening that we don't know. But if you have someone who lives there, who is in the industry and gets to know, now they've started doing probably this particular niche. And probably, maybe not content creation, something new. And if you bring it down here, it can work over here. If they start, probably 4 years later, you start cashing out from these sort of things.
Okay. Let me go to Chris Terrell. Chris, in a very short while, please wrap it up, make it very snappy. We've seen what we can do to improve when it comes to the digital side. We want to see in the content creation and creating sometimes you watch certain contents. Even people started to complain about like his content. Say Formula B anymore, we you understand. We share contents, people are time compared to Nigeria, they know say, very short one, and you can watch it over and over again. What are the things we can do to improve on that side too? So
the answer to this question is actually in your question. So you want to create a skit, not a movie. A skit, something short, where people can relate and people can have fun with it, just laugh and all of that. So it shouldn't be something that will be too long, taking everybody's time. It should be that short, and the people can actually relate to. Now, if it's going to be a bit longer, then it has to catch the person's attention throughout. You understand? Mm-hmm. But for me, I think skits is supposed to be short and precise, and whatever you want to communicate. Sometimes it doesn't have to have any kind of formula. It's just something to make people laugh. Charlie, there is pressure in the system, so sometimes people go onto the internet just to have fun. I mean, to laugh and all of that. Charlie, we won't laugh some of your bitterness out and all of that. So it's just like that. So content creators, if you want to create a content, and with respect to how long you want to do it, Charlie, it should be short, precise, where people, your content should be relatable in all. Yes, your content, people should be able to relate to your content. It should be things that is happening around us, so people can actually feel the vibe and relate to.
It. Okay, so
But Anama, before you end, do you know the Nigerians we're also using as an example? There are some people who have very poor content.
Oh yeah.
And it's
sure.
not all good though. We are seeing the good
we
ones.
know, right?
And,
We
and,
know.
and I don't know your favorite content creator in Ghana though, but like for me, skit makers, I'll go for Ben South any day.
Oh yeah.
I
Ben
love
South
Ben
is
South.
good.
I think
I also
he's
love
been-
Opoku Bilson and his
He's
group.
been trying.
I don't know if you know
I've
him.
seen them, but I just
Yeah,
don't.
I
But
also
He's
love
been
them.
trying to.
Yeah.
Ben South is up there.
And
Ben
I don't
South
know
is-
if they have to do more, I don't know if they have to come together and do more of collaborations, because then again there's also this that the Ghanaian creative most times is selfish, especially in sharing knowledge and all this stuff. You see, when this Facebook monetization hits Ghana, many people were making this assertion that there were even people who had their pages monetized before.
Way before.
Yes, way before. And when you try to reach out to them and then ask them, "Oh, Charlie, what's to show us the way?" Like, I see your page,
That issue, the reason why a lot of people were scared was because it had a middleman in there.
And they don't want to put that middleman in trouble.
In case the middleman is handling it for you now, omudu sika, hey, we no kwatire me ho.
Yeah.
Obi asuro.
But then aside that, there's also that general assertion, not just in the creative art space or the content creation space. Most of the time, the average Ghanaian trying to collaborate, coming together and doing things together for a better cause. I don't know why, but they are not oyazen kakra.
Some people even try and then later they just break up.
It's either the other party has good intentions or the other party pedobo kolapo, they want to cheat you in the end.
Because initially Bensa was with Ama Pukuya.
No, for them, they still
everybody has
do.
individual.
Anytime they are individuals, they are on
Yeah,
their
but I
own.
said, do baby, no more collaborative.
Yeah.
Because I
Kofi
think the
Nyama.
other one also explained it. I think Ben South explained that sometimes it depends on their timing. When they get the time.
And then I think what I'm hearing is something
tend to-
different too.
Well, that is what they
Yeah.
are saying. And then now I think recently I even saw them together in a skit.
Okay.
So gradually they are picking up. I think they just have to learn, and I think it's also about time where the Ghanaian public also give such people the chance. You see, because on just one time a pair, even when Mark Angel started with Emanuela and the Momo Former Kakamano, there were other Nigerians that stood against it. Yeah. There were lots of people that stood against it. But then now, let's see. So the few that were able to give them the chance and then watch their videos, share. One thing about Nigerians, they are so proud. No matter, even if they know that it's bad, they'll push it. But for us, mostly they also too much. Until when that happens, the people too, they be like the consistency, no so that to. So it's going to get better. Gradually. I think all stakeholders involved must come on deck and then make sure that things get better.
Make sure that things get better. So this is where we end, and it was the big plate on the One King Show. I think everybody has had his or her fair bite on the big plate. My name is Nana Mashansi, and then you heard Willie, you heard from Sika Woman, and then Chris Terrell. Now this is where we ended. This show was proudly sponsored by One King Mineral Water, and don't forget to comment, like, and share. See you another time.